Hey guys, so today we have another video covering the Chrysler 300. You guys seem to like the 300 content despite the fact that it's slowly being left to die out by Chrysler. I do find that there are still tons of 300 fans and owners out there, and even for someone like myself who is a huge Charger fan, I still love and appreciate the 300. I mean, how can you not as a Mopar fan? So I do find that there's a huge lack of updates on this car out there in the media and on YouTube, so I'm trying to fill that void a little bit. Last video we looked at the 2021 lineup for the USA and Canada, and today we're shifting our focus overseas on the 300 SRT in Australia and New Zealand, the 300C in Mexico, and the full lineup for the Middle East. So let's see what they've got going on with this car. And just for reference, if you didn't see the other video, the 2021 American lineup can be found on screen with the Touring, Touring L, and S V6 and V8 models. So first up, the Chrysler 300 SRT version has been cancelled in Australia for 2021. This isn't really alarming or shocking news to me, but it still stings as this was one of the last places on earth that you could buy one of these. The previous 2020 lineup consisted of the 300C Luxury, SRT Core, and SRT. So you might be saying, wait a minute, there hasn't been a Chrysler 300 SRT here in North America since the 2014 model year, and you'd be absolutely correct. However, it has been available from 2015 until the present day in various regions across the world, most notably in the Middle East and Australia, and actually 16 countries in total in 2015. So what you're going to see on screen now is that 2015 and up 300 SRT. So that SRT got a facelift with new features such as adaptive cruise control and forward collision warning, restyled front and rear fascia, new black and silver chrome mesh grille, 4-inch exhaust tips, 20 by 9-inch forged alloy wheels, 4-piston Brembo brakes in all four corners, and a better Uconnect system. The engine was the same 6.4-liter Hemi V8 with a bump up to 485 horsepower, and the transmission was also upgraded from the 5-speed auto on the previous SRT to the ZF 8-speed automatic. The interior also continues with enough features to truly call this a luxury sedan, with heated and ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, heated and cooled cup holders, a 19-speaker Harman Kardon green edge system, leather and suede seats, and a lot more. Some of these markets, including Australia, also got what's called an SRT Core model, which is, as it sounds, a more basic SRT for those who don't care to pay for all the bells and whistles. The black surrounding trim on the grille, windows, and mirrors get replaced with chrome, there are different wheels, black calipers instead of red, no adaptive damping suspension, no automatic headlights, basic cloth seats, and a plain 6-speaker sound system, so there's lots of features removed. Typically, the SRT would come in at around 77,000 Australian or 50,000 US, but the SRT Core is significantly cheaper at 67,000 Australian dollars or around 44,000 US. It's also worth mentioning that Australia also has had a special edition Pacer model recently, limited to just 50 units. Now for 2021, Chrysler Australia has issued a statement saying, quote, "The Chrysler 300 SRT ordering has been put on hold due to production constraints. We currently have stock available for customers, and will keep customers updated once we have more information," end quote. But they would later also say that the Chrysler dealers down under can no longer order the car, and they can only sell what they have in stock, while production will not resume. So you can still find the 300 SRT on the Chrysler Australia website, but they've discreetly removed the option to order, as it will direct you to find a dealer instead. Chrysler will be honoring their contract with the New South Wales Police Highway Patrol, who have used the 300 SRT for the past 2 years. So there will be some remaining SRTs produced for that fleet order, but that contract ends in December 2021, and that will likely be the last of the 300 SRTs in Australia. Dealers have said that the shortage of the 300 SRT models is due to a lack of 6.4-liter Hemi V8s, as there's been very strong demand recently from the US market, coupled with the ongoing pandemic. However, no matter what they want to say, like it or not, the 300 SRT numbers just aren't there. I'll show some sales figures on screen now from 2015 to 2018. I wasn't able to find the 2019 and up numbers, but this whole post-2015 era has only seen around 1,400 SRTs sold across 4 years, 1,461 to be exact. So there are really not many people ordering this thing. And that's why I say pulling the SRT from the Australian market isn't too shocking. But as of now, the only way to get a 300 SRT in Australia would be buying cars left in the showroom, otherwise ordering is now closed, and that marks the first time in over 50 years that a V8 powered sedan will not be available in the Australian market for around $70,000. And this is just another nail in the coffin of the 300 series as it slowly dies out. Also, even further down under in New Zealand, the entire 300 series was pulled from the market in 2020. So while you can still buy the regular 300 in the Aussie market, you can no longer do that in New Zealand at all. We'll continue on with the 300C. This is a very interesting point here. I want to touch on the fact that Chrysler has pulled the plug on their previously top-of-the-line 300C model for the US and Canada, leaving the 300S V8 as the top trim. However, both interestingly and inexplicably, the 300C lives on in Mexico for 2021, aimed at the luxury buyers there. So again, it's kind of baffling that Mexico gets this model, but we don't. After all, the 300 is supposed to be the luxury big car option out there, so why on earth would Chrysler get rid of the most luxurious trim in the location that sells the most vehicles? I just don't quite understand that decision. As for that 300C in Mexico, it's actually the only model available for purchase there, as there are no base trim levels or anything like that. This 300C is pretty much identical in design to the one found in the US previously, with the bold front end, prominent grille, and 20-inch chrome wheels. It also features LED fog lights, HID by xenon headlights, and a whole lot of chrome accents. Inside is where the luxury really shines, with the deep quilted and perforated Napa leather seats and door panels, hand-sanded natural pour wood, French accent stitching, and a leather-wrapped steering wheel with unique chrome accent ring. There's also the 8.4-inch Uconnect touchscreen, and the 19-speaker Harman Kardon audio system that was also found on the SRT. The one difference from the previous 300C in the US is that this one has the option of the 292 horsepower 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, or the 363 horsepower 5.7-liter Hemi V8, whereas usually the Hemi is the only engine available on the 300C, and the 8-speed automatic is paired with either. Prices are a bit higher than the US, translating to around $43,980 for the V6 and over $45,000 for the V8. It just keeps begging the question to me of why Chrysler would choose to drop the 300C from the lineup in Canada and the US, but leave it to thrive in Mexico. It would have made sense to offer both engines to lower the price a little bit, instead of having the V8 only, but this just doesn't seem right. The last thing we will touch on this overseas video will be the Middle East offerings. I'm generalizing this by the entire region, as Chrysler literally has a Mid-East website where you can order an SRT from Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Oman, United Arab Emirates, Iraq, Jordan, and Yemen. This lineup is actually more complete than the American version and offers 4 models: the Limited, S, Luxury Series, and SRT. So we'll use the United Arab Emirates or UAE for pricing examples. The Limited is more basic, with a starting MSRP of 145,000 UAE dirhams, or around $39,500 US. You get some basic features like the 3.6-liter Pentastar engine, 18-inch polished aluminum wheels, the 8.4-inch Uconnect, remote start, and automatic leveling headlights. The S model will jump up to 165,000 dirhams, or around $45,000 US, and you get the Hyper Black 20-inch wheels, a 9-speaker Alpine audio system, and paddle shifters. The Hemi is an extra option there. Moving up, we have the Luxury Series. This is essentially the 300C just with a different name, and again the V6 is standard and the V8 is optional. So even the Middle East gets a 300C variation, but not for the US. It's very expensive though, at 190,000 dirhams or $52,000 US. And finally, they've got the SRT as well, with some sweet features like the 6.4 Hemi, 20x9-inch forged aluminum Hyper Black wheels, launch assist, real carbon fiber interior accents, blind spot and cross path detection, active damping suspension, and adaptive cruise control with stop. The only thing not so sweet is the price tag, starting at 252,000 dirhams. That's a $68,800 US dollar cost. So that's the end of this 2021 Chrysler 300 Overseas update video. All I have to say is that it's just disheartening to see the 300 being handled like this. First, the American and Canadian market lost the 300 SRT in 2015. Now they've also lost the 300C. The worst part is, both models live on in various locations, while the original home to this vehicle misses out. It's even being produced right here in Canada at the Brampton, Ontario plant. It's been known for a while now that the 300 is slowly being phased out and likely to be gone by 2023, but at least for its last few years, Chrysler could be offering this car in all forms to those that want it. It's a cash cow and wouldn't cost a whole lot to make some brand new ones for custom orders, as they have all the tooling and parts readily available. The car is old, and of course it will not sell like it did when it first came out, but with zero marketing, few upgrades and additions, and cutting down the lineup, Chrysler isn't even giving the 300 much of a chance in the US and Canada. So that's it guys. What do you guys think about the Chrysler 300 and everything we talked about today? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe for all your Mopar content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.